Hey everyone, it's Jessica Michaels here with another layout for the ThermOWeb design team featuring some new toner card fronts and foil and this beautiful sketch by Paper Issues. And I am cutting my toner card fronts. So I like to use my card fronts for scrapbooking, not necessarily to make cards. So I'm using this one just following the wavy lines on here and cutting them down a little bit. I'm actually just going to use these as a focal point and a feature on my layout. So I'm going to follow that sketch design that Stacy created for Paper Issues, but I am using these as an accent on my page, and it'll be kind of behind my photos, just peeking through and go across my whole layout. So I'm following the wavy lines and just trimming these down to give them a nice wavy look. And then I'm going to pull out some Distress Oxides and do some ink blending and an ombre effect across them. So I'm using two different shades of pinks here, Saltwater Taffy and Picked Raspberry, and I am just blending them together using my blending tools here and just creating a nice color blend and just blending these two colors together in the middle. So I like to put my light color on first and then the dark one, and then I go back through with a blending brush in the middle with some more color just to kind of blend them together. Now you will want to wipe these off after applying any inks to them because you want that toner portion of it to be free and clear of any ink for a nice toner transfer for the transfer foils. So I just wipe them off with a tissue. You normally want to use some kind of lint-free cloth and just get that toner off of there. Or get the ink off of the toner, sorry. So I have these here that I'm showing you. I'm just doing a quick flip through on the new toner sentiments. These are in the shop now also. I thought about using some of those on my layout, but I ended up not using them. And then these are the other designs that come in this pack of toner card fronts that I'm using. So I'm going to set those aside. I'm going to go ahead and get my fuse laminator preheating while I clean off my glass mat so it's nice and clean for this layout. And I'm laughing because my glass mat is never clean. It always has adhesive stuck to it. And I do clean it. I give it a thorough cleaning once in a while. And it is fairly easy to clean, but I just tend to get it all gunked up. So I've got both of these just laying side by side here on the craft and carrier sheets that are the 6-inch size to fit into the fuse laminating machine. You want the folded side of the carrier sheet to go into your machine. And I am just cutting these foil sheets down so they overlap my toner card fronts and have a little bit excess all the way around, just so I can get a nice good coverage on those toner card fronts. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this out. It doesn't take that long to go through. It's pretty quick. And there you can see all that foiled goodness and that beautiful color is on there. I'm using the Berry Crush color today. So it's kind of like a nice purpley pink. And I really, really love how that looks. It turned out really pretty. So the sketch design has more of like a vertical photo strip kind of going on, which is one of my favorite things to do on my scrapbook layouts. This is a 12 by 12 layout. So I've got lots of room to work with, and I honestly consider doing a pattern paper background, but I kind of shy away from it being too busy most of the time, and I usually opt for a white background instead just to tone everything down. So I am using the pattern paper for my photos to mat it. So I am just matting my photos with some white cardstock first, and then I'm using some easy tear tape here, as you can see, to mat again with that patterned black and white stripe. And then I'm just roughing up the edges with my fingernails to give it a little bit of a distressed edge. So there's my little film strip. That's pretty much how that's going to look. It's two photos of my baby girl from one of our camping trips when she was in the stroller and she fell asleep on one of our little hiking adventures. So I've got those two photos I'm using today. I'm just going to line up these toner card fronts. That's pretty much how they're going to look. I'm going to add a couple things to those here in a bit. One of the things I'm adding to my photo strip here is a little scalloped border by a die that I ran through my Big Shot machine. The die is this scallop border by Hey Little Magpie Shop, and I just love her dies. And then this one here is a binder clip, and it is by Bramble Fox, and I'm just running this through my Big Shot here just to add that little binder clip to the very top of my little photo strip. I've got these really cool paper clips here, and they've been in my stash for a little while now, but I thought that would look really cute. It says perfect on it, and she is just the most perfect little thing, and I thought that would be so cute to put at the top of this little film strip. So that's where I'm going to place it here in a moment. I've added another little pattern paper trim there, and just kind of going through my scraps here from the smaller 6x8 paper pad in the Heart Eyes collection by Simple Stories, just seeing what else I want to use to layer up these photos and just give them a bit more dimension and a little pop. Since I'm not using pattern paper for my background, it's not super overwhelming or busy, so I feel like that really gives me the creativity to add more layers to my photos directly. And then here I'm just getting that Ultra Bond liquid adhesive back out again. I'm going to use that to adhere down my little binder clip, which I will put some thread through the top of that, kind of twirl it around a little bit in a little bit later of this video. So there's my paper clip. I had to fiddle with it a little bit to get it to go on there perfectly, and just kind of worked with it a little bit, but it went on. So there's my little film strip. I'm going to grab a title acrylic here by Colorcast Designs to use on this one. The sketch had a pretty big title here to the right side of the photo strip. So I'm just going to stick to the sketch design. I'm going to put my photo there as well, but I wanted to add some black splatters in the background. So I grabbed my Heidi Swapp Color Shine, and then I'm going to use this little plus sign cluster from this Vicki Boutin stamp set that I have, along with some black intense black ink by Honeybee Stamps, to stamp my little plus signs on my layout to give it just a little more pop of something in my background. And I'm using my date stamp here. This is the roller date stamp by Paige Evans, I believe. And I am just stamping my date on one of the little labels in the sticker book from that Hard Eyes collection. And again, using some more easy tear tape to adhere my photo strip down to my layout. That easy tear tape is the 1/2 inch size. That's my favorite size. I use it a lot, and it is really super sticky. So it has a very heavy duty tack to it. So if you use this on papers or photos or anything and you need to move them, just be very careful, because it's probably going to rip your photo or paper when tearing it back off. And it's really made to stick down well. So I have to be fully committed to where I want to place things when I'm using that tape. But it's really, really great for photos, matting photos, or sticking large items like those border toner card fronts on my page there. It's good for large things like that, and there's a few different sizes of the easy tear tape as well. So I do have a variety of sizes in my stash, but the 1/2 inch size seems to be my favorite and my go-to. Just going to use more of the Ultra Bond liquid adhesive to adhere my floral elements by Coco Vanilla Studio. Those are from the Bloom and Grow collection. So I'm kind of mixing and matching collections here and just grabbing different things. I wanted to use these cute florals, and they match the pinks of my layout just perfectly. So I've pulled some of those in and adhered my title acrylic piece down with that Ultra Bond liquid adhesive as well. You can honestly use either that or the mixed media glue. Works really well for gluing down acrylics too. So I'm just going to fluff up the edges of these florals and just give them a little pop. And then I am just sticking down some of these Epoxy Flair by Scrappin Happy Studio. I like to use glue dots, glue zots. These ones are the zots. I call them dots, but they're actually called zots. And I like to use the medium size for this and put thread behind them. So I create kind of what's called a glue dot sandwich. That's what I call it, where I put a glue dot on the Epoxy Flair, then my thread, then I put another glue dot to secure it to the page directly. So I know that that baby is not going anywhere. So I've got my white thread behind there. I'm just trimming off my threads on my border pieces here. And what I did with those is I went ahead and ran them through my machine, sewing machine, and I stitched white in between all of those foiled lines to create some extra stitches and extra lines in there. And then I'm going to grab some stamps and do some stamping in those as well. I've got this cute little camera. I'm just going to add that at the top there with some thread. And I'm going to use some of these stickers from the sticker sheet, I think. and just seeing what else I can add at this point. I really like these little hearts in this sticker book, so I'm going to add a couple of those on this layout. And then here's my plus signs coming in with that black ink. I really like that black ink too. It's really been a good ink for me, and it works well with alcohol markers and Copics if you're looking for a good ink to color in with that's not going to smear too much. I'm going to add another little heart sticker there, and just see if there's anything else I want to grab from this sticker book while I'm here. And I'm actually going to reach for my acrylic paint too. I'm going to grab some white acrylic paint here in a bit and add some white splatters to this layout to just give it a little bit of dimension. I was going to add some little wordy stickers, but then I decided to pull out some stamps instead. I'm just going to clean off my desk first and get some of this out of my way. And then I'm going to grab some Elle Studio stamps. These are the travel tab stamps, and are not the travel tabs. These are the True Love tabs, I believe. And sorry, it's really small on my screen when I'm editing and doing these voiceovers. So it's really hard for me to tell what I used unless usually I'm just going off of memory, trying to remember in my brain what all I've used. So I've been grabbing my travel tabs stamps a lot lately, but this one is the True Love tabs. They have a bunch of little tab stamps like this where it comes with a couple little tab stamps on there in a couple different designs, and then just a lot of wordy bits to go along with the theme. So I have, I think, pretty much every set that they make that are tabs, like winter tabs, summer tabs, spring tabs, fall tabs. And then I have Halloween tabs, and then I have these and everyday tabs. There's all different ones, but I just love them because they have these cute little phrases on them and you can use them for so many things. I love to create mixed media layouts with them, with a lot of stamping and color and just all sorts of fun things. So I am just finishing off this stamping with the little hearts. And then I'm going to grab that white acrylic paint and I'm going to water it down a little bit to create a nice splattering texture. That way I can splatter it on my page. And this is that pink thread that I'm grabbing. I just had to find the end of it. It was still tucked in because it's a new one. And I just grabbed a little bit of that thread, and I'm just going to leave the tail here, but I'm going to glue down the tail in its little wavy funk that it's going in because I really like the way that that looks, but I wanted it to stay exactly like that. So I just put a couple dabs of glue on there. So here's my white acrylic paint and just flicking on some splatters here just to give it a nice little pop. So I love how this one came together. I hope you guys really loved it too, and I hope that I've inspired you to create something. I will link down below in the description everything that I've used today in case you want to grab anything from any of the shops. So thank you guys so much for being here. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.